Welcome back. You're still tuned into Trading Hour. Well, the big story today has to be the tariff regime which has kicked in, and they're set to kick in from tomorrow. Let's go across to our colleague Parikshit. He'll get us a quick recap of the development that has taken place. Parikshit?
Well, indeed, a setback for India, so to say. Till now, negotiations were on to avert that 25% additional penalty, and those negotiations are still underway. In fact, all efforts are being made to get a pause on these tariffs. Now, what happens immediately? The US has issued a notification essentially for importers to know that these will be the tariff lines that will be effective from 12:01 a.m. 27th of August, which is 9:30 a.m. India time on Wednesday. So that's when the tariffs kick in. It will be a 50% tariff, that is 25% reciprocal tariff that came into effect on the 1st of August, and also the 25% additional penalty that was announced. So it's a 50% tariff on Indian goods. What does it really impact? Well, $48.2 billion worth of India's merchandise exports to the US will be subject to the 50% tariffs. And many analysts have said that this is almost like a blockade, and this will stop the export of these items to the US. Which sectors will be the most impacted? Textiles, footwear, leather goods, labor-intensive goods exports to the US will be most impacted in the months to come. But a lot of the exporters have already sent a lot of consignments, huge quantities of consignments, anticipating these high tariffs. So possibly they'll have a cushion for the next few months at least. Having said that, goods already subjected to Section 232 tariffs, that is 50% tariffs on steel and aluminium, 25% tariffs on automobiles, that stays, and that is not impacted by the reciprocal or the additional penalty tariff. So that remains as it is at 25%. Then you also have certain exemptions such as iPhones, copper, pharmaceuticals, semiconductors, timber, energy products and minerals. There is no change in tariffs on this, either in the form of reciprocal tariffs or additional penalties. These are products that will continue to be tariffed at the rates that were being tariffed before any kind of reciprocal announcement happened in April this year.
Parikshit, thank you for that update, but also tell us more on the details on what is the latest with regards to the negotiations front, because they were supposed to take place this week. That has not transpired. So what are you picking up on that front?
Yes, the trade negotiators are not coming to India. Those formal talks are not being pursued, but we're given to understand that trade negotiators, officials from across the government are in touch with officials in the White House almost on a daily basis. Efforts are being made to avert this 25% additional penalty and find a way out, have some sort of understanding and deal with the United States. In fact, an important point, in the run-up to August 27 deadline, industry bodies in the US have written to the White House seeking a 90-day pause on this additional tariff so that there is room for negotiation between India and the US. They've also said that US should understand the amount of energy, oil and gas that India is buying from the US, and this is only going to increase further. Having said that, the government here, according to sources, is reiterating that we'll continue to protect interests of our farmers, MSMEs, workers, entrepreneurs, and we'll do whatever it takes to work in national interest. The government will continue to take steps necessary to mitigate the impact on trade through export promotion schemes and also trade diversification measures. The External Affairs Minister has said recently that the arguments used to target India are not being used against China. The External Affairs Minister also said that the US additional tariffs on India are unjustified and unreasonable, and India is sticking to this stand. In fact, the Indian envoy to Russia said that we will buy oil from wherever we get the best price. So this seems to be India's stand. We're told that the government is not looking at retaliation. The effort would be to try and resolve the situation at the earliest, get a reprieve from India, get a pause on these additional penalty tariffs.
All right. Thank you so much for all those details, Parikshit. In fact, let's listen into what